Maybe, just maybe, Captain America, Brave New World is the true movie for our times, a true metaphor for the times that we're living in. It's a movie that, in my heart of hearts, I really want to go see. I really like Anthony Mackie as an actor, and I really thought that this might be like a great time at the movies again. Winter Soldier, Civil War, back when Marvel movies were good. And then apparently it came out, they have a great actor, they have all this stuff going on, and it is a complete and utter, just insane crap show that it doesn't appear anybody thinks is worth going to see. Apparently, like the only movie in the Marvel Universe worse than Captain America Brave New World was The Marvels. And yeah, The Marvels was shockingly bad. I literally watched The Marvels when I had COVID, and it was still hard to get through. I only had half my brain cells firing. Just wanted to watch something to take the time away. And even in that mental state, it was hard to watch The Marvels. So, anyways, this is just a hell of a timeline. Are we about to get pruned? Are we about to get pruned? I feel like my timeline might be getting pruned. We might be going a wee bit off track. But anyways, before I start talking about the main topic of the day, what I'm really excited about, again, anybody who follows me knows Silicon Dojo is what I do. But look at that. Introduction to SQL. Introduction to structured query language with SQLite. Actually, it got fully published as of this morning. So now we have yet another self-study program. So we have the Python, we got about 360 people in that one. We have the Bottle, we have about 40 people in that one. And now we have the SQL, and we have about 10 people in that one. So anyways, these are all free to the end user. You can just come here, you can go through the self-study program, and you can learn, and you can empower yourself. It doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter who you are. I did not invest resources in systems to prevent you from making your life better. Again, I really do want you to think about that. Like, there's this whole thing, we talked about that with DEI yesterday, with colleges and all that. I just wanted you to really think about this with colleges and universities and how fucked up this is. They literally resource people to tell you no. Again, think about it. It costs money to say no. Think about how much money Harvard spends just to reject people. And then again, think about this in 2025 and wonder why. Again, I think about that with, again, when universities can just go get buggered. It's not education. I do education. I'm all for education. Universities can go get buggered. So I heard this from a dean years and years ago. It was like 15 years ago, back when I was starting to get traction with my videos. And the dean was like, when they asked why the price of colleges and universities were going up so significantly, he said, well, unlike other industries, we don't have the multiplier effect. One teacher can only teach 30 students, regardless of the technology. And it's like, that's funny. One of my educational videos is like 3 million views. Right? And again, I went to a university that had lectures. Have you ever been to a lecture hall? Yeah, you know what a lecture hall is? It's basically you see a professor. They're about as big as when you go to a rock concert. You see a professor up there and they got stuff on the board and they just shove God knows how many people into that room. And then afterwards, so that's the professor, and then afterwards, you go see a teacher's assistant where it's a much smaller group, but you're also just dealing with a graduate student that's teaching you. So you pay a lot of money for the brand of professor, and then the person who actually teaches you is a teacher's assistant. And those worthless piece of crap deans in the modern education system still try to make it out like, well, we can't. We can't actually serve the public worth a damn using modern technologies because we're too fucking stupid. I've got tenure. I've got tenure. Why would I bother to improve the system? But anyways, rawr, as I say, rawr. Again, with education, empowering, and all that kind of stuff, that is my studio. That is my studio. We have 650 members to Silicon Dojo at this point. Again, we have the people that are currently taking these programs. I meet with people every Monday. We do the Zoom thing every Friday, and I do that out of a 120 square foot box. But remember, the universities, for some reason, they can't scale up using modern technology. Anyways, but that's not what I'm getting angry about today. That's another thing I'm angry about. But that's not the main thing I'm angry about or frustrated about. I don't even know. Like, what do you even say about this? What do you say about Trump? So yeah, we just had America's first dead president. We just had America's first dead president. We learned as a country that you should not elect a dead president because dead presidents, in fact, cannot learn new tricks. It's this weird thing. Like once you die, you literally stop learning. Doesn't matter what kind of education program it is. You could fucking shove a Neuralink up their buttocks, and they're still not gonna learn because wait for it, they're dead, right? So we just had Biden. It was a goddamn disaster, right? Again, forcing people to get vaccinated after he said he didn't think he had the right to force people to get vaccinated, destroying our economy, inflation through the roof, getting us into military conflicts in 3 different places around the world. He was just a piece of crap. He was just a piece of crap. So anyways, now we have our new person in, and holy crap. Somebody gave this boy crack. Or meth. Maybe he's on meth. Maybe that's what's going on. He's very energized. He's very excited, and he wants to do a lot of work. Oh, but the work he's doing. And so I've been talking about this for a little bit now, as I'm concerned about the brand of America. Right? You know, we've been selling, again, the idea of soft power. We've been selling the idea of America for a long time now, 200 years, right? There's this idea of what America is, regardless. Don't look at it too closely. Like America is kind of like, I went to see the Colbert Report. So way back in the day, I actually went to see the Colbert Report up in New York City. And what was weird is when you used to watch the Colbert Report on like Comedy Central, everything looked just spick and span and like modern and shiny. When you watch a Colbert Report like on TV, it looked like a really, really, really nice set. And then you go and you're at the Colbert Report in person, and you're like, oh, that's what video filters do. Because you go there, and I swear to shit, it looked like it was like fucking scotch taped together with like construction paper. Like the quality of that set was shockingly bad. Anyways, I kind of think about that like America is you look at it from, through a TV screen, it's like, woo. And then you get here and it's like, a lot of cardboard. A lot, actually, nowadays, especially with all the homeless people, there sure as hell is a lot of cardboard. But anyways, again, one of the things I've been arguing for a while now is my concern about what happens when we damage the concept of brand America, right? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's the jingoism we sell around the world. Again, the reality, isn't quite there. Again, the foundations of our society are fractured. Again, I like the United States. I'm American, right? But you can still say, you can like your house and know there's fractures in the foundation at the exact same time, right? There's fractures in the foundation, and then you got little Mark Zuckerbergs in there. Can't get rid of the damn Mark Zuckerbergs, and they're just eating, right? They're just eating the rest of the beams and everything like fucking termites or whatever. So anyways, we've got lots and lots and lots of problems. But, you can go out there and you can try to sell, the American dream to the rest of the world. And then, again, things like products, Coca-Cola and Pepsi. You don't think about how much money that's worth. Brands such as Microsoft and Intel and all that kind of stuff, right? There's a real value proposition there on like the American brand. And as we're moving forward and as our presidents become ever more dead, while in office. My question is what happens to that American brand as the shine just falls off for the entire world? Again, a country that believes in, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that, every man, blah, 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 that, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And at the exact same time, we fund the absolute slaughter of brown people all over the world. Again, like when Trump shut down foreign aid, the two places he didn't shut down foreign aid was to Israel, so they could continue to slaughter Palestinians, and Egypt, so that Egypt didn't get pissed off and do something wacky, right? I mean, think about this. Like all the foreign funding was shut down for a little bit, other than the slaughter of Palestinians. We got to make sure we turn those Palestinians into fertilizer because come on now, right? And anyways, again, as people see this around the world, there then becomes the question is, are we anything to emulate? Is there much that's impressive about us? Or are we yet another dying empire that the sun is, about to set on? So anyways, now we have Trump. And Trump is coming in, and he is just taking a sledgehammer to the foundations of our government. And we'll see what happens. Again, the MAGA people feel that they're winning. To be crystal clear here, the MAGA people feel that they're winning. So we're kind of fucked. Right? Because that's the thing. Like, 50% or 51% or whatever the population voted for this guy, and then 51% of the population felt that he was losing, then there might be a change. But when the people that voted for him are like, yay! Well, that's the thing about democracy. That's the thing about democracy. So he's going in there and he's doing what he's doing. Now, the interesting thing is coming along with Ukraine. And so one of the things I've thought about with Trump for a long time is like, it's weird with Trump. Like, I always feel like he goes too far with everything. It's kind of like with the border wall, right? I wasn't actually anti the border wall. I don't think the border wall is the most effective way to do things on the southern border, but nobody else was doing anything. So an inefficient idea is better than no idea. Right? Got to take what you can get. Anyway, so there's a whole border wall thing and kicking out illegal immigrants. And then all of a sudden he starts trying to kick out like foreign exchange students. Right? COVID happens, there's lockdowns, and all of a sudden he's like, foreign exchange students gotta go. And you're like, what the fuck, right? Because foreign exchange students, right? They have to go through vetting to get here. They have to get admissions to universities or colleges to be here. They then pay out of country tuition rates, which are just absolutely ridiculous. If they're good, then they can get a job and stay here. And if they're not, they get kicked the fuck out at the end. Like, I got 1,099 problems, and foreign exchange students don't even get on the list, right? Right, who has that much of a complaint with foreign exchange students? But we go from border wall, which is like, right, inefficient idea, but fine, to kicking out foreign exchange students. We're like, what the hell? And again, that's the thing like I'm looking at with Ukraine right now. So again, the last administration was basically a blank check for Ukraine. Whatever Ukraine needs, we'll give them. And I'm like, wait, no. We should not give the blank check for anything. Anything, whether it's Ukraine or whether it's kicking out illegal immigrants, should not be a blank check. And that was my frustration with the Biden administration. But I mean, come on now. A dead person can't be expected to balance his checkbook. But that was the thing. Like, we're just going to send as much as they need. And as I've argued before, what does the win look like? What does the loss look like? What does the cost look like? What does this possibly escalate into? Let's have a conversation about this as a country and figure out what we want to do. And I would argue most of the country has zero interest in sending our young men and women off to get slaughtered in Ukraine. I do not believe there are many people in the United States that want to see their kids get slaughtered in Ukraine, regardless of how bat crap crazy Putin is, right? So again, when we start talking about World War III might start in Ukraine, it's like, hey, question mark, question, right? But anyway, so Trump comes in and he's the deal maker. He's the deal maker. So he's now going and he's making a deal with Russia. So he didn't invite Europe to the deal making process. He didn't invite Ukraine to the deal making process. He just got sat down with Russia so that they can work out a deal. And that is what it is. Do I think it's a wise way to go? No, but I don't know. Maybe there's an argument there. Again, it's the real world. The real world is ugly. The real world is ugly. If you don't want ugly solutions, go back to playing your goddamn video games. I don't know. Maybe the US and Russia having a heart to heart, fuck Ukraine, fuck Europe. Maybe that is an effective way to go. Right? Maybe just looking Zelensky in the eye and saying, "You lost what you lost. Here are the lines. Move the fuck on." Right? Maybe that's the best geopolitical solution. And so you're sitting there like, how do I feel about this? What do I think about this, especially in democracy? But then Trump always does what Trump does. Trump always does what Trump does. Trump, again, everybody's reporting on this. Trump says Ukraine should have never started war in Ukraine. So yeah, now Trump is literally blaming Ukraine for the war that Russia started. Hey, remember when Russia pumped 130,000 troops into Ukraine? Ukraine, you shouldn't have done that to yourself. Ukraine, why are you hitting yourself? Ukraine, stop hitting yourself. And this is the problem. And this is where I get to with Trump. I don't know. I used to say, is he crazy as a Trump or is he just crazy? I don't know what the hell's going on at this point. Because again, like you can make the argument. I mean, you can definitely make the argument of, it's not an unlimited checkbook, right? It's not a blank check. Definitely make that argument. You could even make the argument for, we're not going to send you another dime because we're sending all our dimes to Israel. Don't you understand? Anyways, there could be an argument for that. But where do you get to anywhere? We're now blaming Ukraine for the war that Russia started and the damage and the destruction that Russia has caused and the slaughter of civilians and the rest of it. For him to come out and say that Ukraine is responsible for this goddamn shit show is beyond fucking repugnant. It is beyond despicable. It is beyond disgusting. Let's see here. President Donald Trump suggested Tuesday that Ukraine was responsible for Russia's invasion of the country 3 years ago, arguing Kiev could have made a deal to avoid the conflict. Hey, when they had 130,000 troops to your head, you could have made a deal. Quote, you should have never started it. Fuck Trump. Fuck Trump. Fuck Trump. Have I said fuck Trump? Not saying he wasn't rightfully elected. He's still a fucking bastard. Quote, you should have never started it, Trump said of Ukraine while criticizing President Zelensky, who had expressed concern that his country was not included in talks between the U.S. and Russia and Saudi Arabia. Quote, I think I have the power to end this war, and I think it's going very well. But today I heard, oh, well, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. Yes, they have been there for 3 years because their home has been invaded by Russia. Where the fuck else would they have been, jackass? Trump told reporters at his Mar-a-Lago resort, quote, you should have never started it. You could have made a deal. Trump went on to say, I could have made a deal for Ukraine that would have given them almost all of the land, everything, almost all of the land, and no people would have gotten killed, and no city would have been demolished, and not one dome would have been knocked down, but they chose not to do it that way. So yeah, then they go on. People get paid by the word. So there's more. So basically, yeah, Trump is now coming out and saying that Ukraine is responsible for Russia just beating the ever-loving shit out of them. And yeah, they should have made a deal. They should have been more like Trump. The thing is, with the Ukrainians, They could have all claimed fucking heel spurs because theirs was the country that was actually getting attacked. Theirs were the people that were actually getting slaughtered. You know, it is really disgusting how the boomer generation, all the fucking cowards of the boomer generation, right, that fled the Vietnam War, right, they were not going to get drafted into the Vietnam War because they were too good for it. That was for other people. My father was good enough for the Vietnam War, but fuck you, Donald Trump wasn't, right? All of these jackasses then start talking about Ukraine, right? Ukraine should have made a deal. Ukraine should have claimed heel spurs. Anyways, so this is my concern with the continued degradation of the American brand. Because it's not the decision to pull funding. It's not even the decision of who we fund and who we don't fund. It is this kind of chaotic insanity that how in God's name can actually be defended. Again, who can trust us? Who can trust us as a country? I don't trust us as a country, and I'm an American. Again, don't lie to yourself. Lie to everybody else in the world. Don't lie to yourself. I like America. I get why other people don't, though. Oh, so yeah. Like where does this go moving forward? And then again, and that's the thing to be thinking about, right? So they're talking about they want Europe to spend even more money of their GDP on weapon systems and things. So our new Secretary of Defense was talking about Europe spending 5% of their GDP on defense, which again may or may not be the right answer. But the more money you spend on defense, the less money you spend on other things, like really shitty Hollywood movies that are a perfect metaphor for this period in time. Right? Cars, clothing, licensing, media of all kinds. Right? You start pulling more and more money out of the economy in order to build tanks, then the companies who build tanks are doing really well, but the other companies aren't. And when you look at, again, a big part of America's economy is literally exporting all of this entertainment horse crap, whether it's Hollywood, whether it's video games, whether it's fashion, so much money is about that type of thing. It's not necessarily about weapon systems. So as we move forward, what does this do to the economy? Again, especially on top of everything else that's hit with the economy. And then when you see Trump just so nonchalantly, just willing to fuck a country that we've been supporting, right or wrong, we've been supporting this country, but just to turn around and just fuck him, because he can, because he fucking can, right? That's an alpha male. An alpha male beats the shit out of people because they can. Right? That's what this jackass thinks. Well, think about that for Europe, right? Because again, we got new military technology companies coming online, Anduril or whatever, Lucky Palmer's thing, which sounds interesting if it wasn't so dystopian. Yep, yep, he's the Henry Ford of systems that go boom, right? Literally, the new cruise missiles that he's creating. Holy shit. It's fucking amazing and fucking horrible at the same time. But think about that, right? That could be a major moneymaker, right? Exporting, cruise missiles that even a 9-year-old could use and build. But here's the thing: like, if you're Europe, do you trust us? What happens in the blink of the eye if we just decide we're not going to sell you the weapon systems? What if you plan your defensive strategies upon our economy or on different things that we offer, and then you know at any time your knees can be taken out from under you just because a piece of shit wants to pretend he's a fucking alpha male? So 5%, again, 3% more of GDP starts going into things like weapon systems. And how many of those weapon systems are going to be sold by our country, our United States, regardless? Yeah, I don't know. I ain't proud of being American today. Being American today is a fucking goddamn disgrace. Again, don't want to send them weapons, don't fucking send them weapons. But this shit, blaming them for the war, then pretending, then fucking pretending like you're the big man in the room. Yeah. Anyways, anyways, maybe I should go watch the Captain America movie to take my mind off of this crap. So, what do you think about this? What do you think about Trump blaming Ukraine for the war? What do you think about Trump, again, leaving Europe and Ukraine out of the negotiations, the peace negotiations? What do you think that this does for our brand around the world? Who wants to aspire to this horse shit? Who wants to aspire to pretend Hollywood alphas? Is that anything to fucking aspire to? Anywho, that's the world we're in. Again, I'm just going to keep pushing my little ball forward. Iterate or die. Ship product or die. That's the reality, right? Finished a sequel class literally this morning. It got published, so it's up there now. And gonna start working on the Linux one. We probably won't have the videos for Linux one for a while, so we're about to go out to Miami for a month. See how Miami is. Yeah. Anyways. Oh, I really wish we had a sane economy. Not gonna get a sane economy for a while, so we're gonna get what we're gonna get. So, anyways, we're gonna go to Miami for about a month. That should be a good old fun time, be in the nice warmth. It is 35 degrees and snowing here, and it is 76 degrees in Miami Beach. That's sounding that's sounding real nice right about now. So, anyways, I'm going to start the Linux series. So I'm going to start that, and then again, we're just going to we're going to keep fleshing out these self-study programs. We have this nice library of self-study programs, so that we can start getting into more complicated and interesting projects. Hopefully by summer. That's the whole thing. You got to grind. That's what the startup grind is. People think the startup grind is sitting there drinking beers, coming up with ideas. No. Again, as I said, what is the idea? Oh, wow. With this Wix platform, I can create self-study classes. And my students, right, could really use self-study classes. So yeah, I should do that. So that's the idea. Each one of these self-study series takes weeks to finish. Python took over a month to finish. Bottle took like 3 weeks to finish. SQLite has taken another 3 weeks to finish. Linux will probably take another 3 weeks to finish. The idea is something you come up with over a beer. Like, however long it takes you to drink a beer, that's how long it takes to come up with an idea. Actually implementing those ideas and then continuing to do so, iterating through, that is the grind. But anyways, I'm gonna keep doing that, and I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Cause yeah, we have one president who uses Title IX to force women to share locker rooms and bathrooms with men. What the fuck? Literally, Title IX, which was supposed to be a federal law to protect women, right, in the workplace and at school was literally being used by our dead president in order to coerce women to, again, having to share what should be private spaces with men. So that was our last president. And this president is saying that Ukraine is responsible for the war, that they should stop hitting themselves. They should stop slaughtering their own people and stop destroying their own country. I'm sorry, who should I have voted for? Ah, Jesus. So, anyways, I can't do anything about that. I can't do that. But what I can do, I can push my ball forward and I can try to help other people push their balls forward. And maybe at some point, this will be in the past for a little while, and we'll get a sane president. We'll get a sane president. But who knows? Who knows? Anyways, I've got work to do. See y'all later.